Hi, my name is Alan Johnson, and welcome to Patterns for Playing the Blues. I'm going to show you two blues patterns, demonstrate how those two patterns are interconnected, and finally show you three riffs to add some interest. So here we go. Blues pattern number one. We are going to be playing in the key of G. Now, first notice the red circle with an asterisk. That indicates that the note can be the root of the chord or the sixth of the chord. All right, so very quickly, how do you find the sixth? This is the root, this G. And in order to find the sixth, you have to go down a full step and a half. So we're going from the G, down a half step, which is the major 7, down another half step, which is the flat 7, and then the open would be the E, which is the 6th. My very first note that I'm playing is the root of the chord, the G. A little faster yet. Now I said that you can begin on the root, but you can also begin on the sixth, which is the E. So let's find the E on the high E string. There it is right there. So we can play the same pattern right there. Put in 12-bar blues using the Boss looper, and the looper allows you to add some rhythm, so I've done that as well. And let's hear what this one pattern sounds like. You'll notice that you don't have to play the entire pattern. In fact, it probably is better just to play a portion of the pattern. Instead of going, we could just go. The second pattern is begins on the B string, and we need to find the root on the B string, which is located right there. That's a G, that's a G. Here we go. Ending on the root on the bottom. A little faster. Okay, so let's hear what this sounds like with our blues in G. So the next question is there a transition that we can use to go from the first pattern to the second pattern? And the answer is yes, and this is what it looks like. Now notice what happens when we get to the end of the transition. right there is the beginning note of pattern number 2, and we can do our pattern number 2 there. So let's see if we can tie those 2 patterns together, including the transition from getting from pattern 1 to pattern 2. Here we go. I'm going to begin with pattern 1. By the way, you'll notice on the slide that there are some extra notes on the E string that you can play, and I did play them as I was demonstrating there. Now I'd like to talk about 3 riffs. And the first one is not really a riff, it's just actually an arpeggio, a G arpeggio, and it looks like this. Right? Now that's just a G major arpeggio, but using it in the blues can add some interest. Let's try to slip it in again. Okay, here it comes. And then I went back to the blues. Here it comes again. All right, by the way, there was something else that happened there. Remember I said on pattern number 2, this note can be the root, or it can also be the 6th. The pattern is, well, originally we were playing it up here on the keyboard, but we can also play it here, because that note is the 6th of the chord. It's the E. So if we're playing in the key of G, we find the 6th, we can play pattern number 2. Right? So pattern number 1 and pattern number 2 are right next door to each other. Pattern number 1 is starting on the G. And pattern number 2 is starting on the 6th, the E. Okay, so right in there you have a lot of notes to play with in playing your solo. Another riff that I'd like to introduce is a repetition of 6 notes, and it looks like this. Now, you don't have to play that entire pattern. You could just play it on the first 2 or 3 strings. Or you could play it 2 times. The pattern goes on 4 times. Another thing that is kind of interesting is that you can add interest by sliding on the chord. For example, sometimes, you know, we might be playing way up here. Here's G. When G comes up, we could just take the first 3 notes on that and slide down, and it gives it kind of a little exciting feel. Let me see if I can demonstrate that. Drop down, mama, let your daddy see you got something, honey, keeps on worrying me. I said, mama, don't allow no messing around all night long. She says you may be too young, some woman might treat you wrong. Big city women sure do make me tired. They got a handful of gimme and a mouthful of much oblige. Mama, don't allow no messing around all night long. She says you may be too young, some woman might treat you wrong. Stop your scratching at my window. Stop your scratching at my window. Oh, baby, I know what you mean. So stop your scratching at my window. My mama says I'm too young to be fooling around now.